This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.
Well, we are your hosts today, Jack O'Brien and Daniel Gibbs from Clinic Mastery on the Grow My Clinic podcast. Daniel, how are you today?
Yeah, doing well. We've got a short, sharp, shiny one for you right now, don't we?
I'm excited. This is going to be fun. Let's talk about distractions and notifications. Can you tell us a little story about when we first met in person in Adelaide in 2017? What did you notice?
Jack, it was heartbreak. I was heartbroken. And you're laughing right now, I know, because my life has been governed by notifications on my phone. And I came to a point where my life doesn't need to be governed by notifications on my phone. And when I saw you, in fact, you could probably tell this story a lot better than I can. But effectively, I observed someone else's life being governed by notifications on their phone. Was that right?
We were sitting having a coffee. It was very low key, and you looked at me. And of course, I'm not sure if you realized who I was at the time, Daniel. Obviously, this is said in jest, but I'm Jack O'Brien. I thought I was very important, and so I was getting all manner of emails and SMS and Slack notifications and things buzzing like crazy on my phone. And you managed to stick your nose in and see it. And you challenged me. Do you remember what you challenged me about that day?
I think it was a Gmail notification or something. I said, what are you doing getting email notifications to your phone?
And yes, I was taken aback by the question, and I didn't answer straight away. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I kind of thought, well, that's a really good question. Why am I getting email notifications? And I remember that day you challenged me to turn off Gmail notifications on my phone. And ever since that day, I have not yet received a Gmail notification on my phone. Now, people might be thinking, how do you do that when you are the owner of a clinic? Everything revolves around you. Nothing can get done without getting through you. How does the world exist if you're not getting email notifications?
Look, I don't propose to say that I've got the answer for distractions and all that sort of stuff. And we're both talking about this with a bit of a smile in the background here. The point is that there are various methods of communication, and there are various messages that need to get through. And if you look at sort of the priority matrix of things that need to be done, you've got the things that are important and urgent. You've got the things that are not important and not urgent, and you've got those in between. Now, you don't really want to be alerted to the fact that you have something that's not important or not urgent in your life that needs attention. And in fact, not important, not urgent things shouldn't even be in your list or even thought about at all. So why would we put a notification for something that's not important and not urgent and put it front and center and distract us from something that is important and perhaps is urgent as well? Look, a happy medium is hanging around in that place where you're working on important things that are not urgent. So there's no urgency around what you have to do, but they are important. So the things that you're doing in a day are important things that only you can do. And one of those things that's guided me along the way is this quote, what is the most important thing that only I can do? Not so much a quote, more of a question that sort of sits there on a page next to my computer. Is this the most important thing that only I can do? Now, when it comes to notifications on your phone, there's so much noise that distract you from perhaps those important things to remind you that you've got something not important that needs your attention. And I just feel that emails are one of those things. Emails aren't an urgent form of communication. Emails are something that sit in the background and you'll get round to them when you have a chance. And if you're checking your emails maybe once or twice or 3 times a day at set times rather than as they come about, you start with a little bit of anxiety of, what if I've missed something? But if you're working to a process of each day clearing your inbox to inbox zero, then what it means is you're never actually missing anything. The time that you're dedicating to your emails is time when you've got a chance to actually do the work. Anything that's a 2-minute job, you can do it right there and then. If it takes longer than 2 minutes, then schedule it or put it on the list to be done at another time. But you don't need to be distracted from the important things that you're doing with these sorts of notifications. Yeah. That goes for other notifications as well. But Jack, you may present this as, oh, wonderful, Daniel's got this all right. I don't. I think what's happened here is you've actually taken this from one simple suggestion around Gmail and gone to the nth degree, haven't you? So tell me now, Jack, What do? You told me before your phone lives on Do Not Disturb. How does that even work?
It does. Well, I think on reflection of that moment in Adelaide over the coffee, I realised that I didn't have systems in place in my business around communication. So it took defining some parameters around communication and making sure my team knew that email was for things that could wait, and that something like Slack or an SMS might be more important and urgent and conversational. So we had to set up communication rules, but I realized the freedom when I wasn't being distracted by notifications all the time. So I turned off all notifications, and now I live in Do Not Disturb mode. It means no phone calls can get through my phone, no pop-ups, no buzzers, no flashes, no sounds. Nothing happens on my phone other than contacts from my favorites list. So that's some key contacts at my clinic, within my other businesses, and then with my family. They're the only people who can ring and get to me. And now I am not a slave to my phone. We close down all the tabs in your browser. You don't need to have Gmail and Facebook sitting as tabs in your browser, because the focus that you can get out of concentrating on one task for a sprint of time, for me it's 25 minutes, productivity goes through the roof. And you know what? The world exists without you.
There's a interesting bit of research out there on the average number of times people check their phone, and the number is huge. It's on average, people check their phone around 150 times. I wanted to test this out for me, so I downloaded an app which simply measures how many times you check your phone. And checking your phone means unlocking your phone and taking a look at it. And I'm thrilled to say that the numbers are relatively low, a lot lower than that. But there are times when you're being pushed and there's problems and people are calling you, and so you do need to check your phone more often. But if you're hovering around that sort of, I reckon about 40 times a day, then you're doing really well. Yesterday, Jack, I had a day where I'd only checked it 8 times. So that was a particularly good day. But I'm sort of generally between that 20 to 40 times a day. And I know if I've gone over that, it gets a little more. The app that I use there for that one is just a very simple app called Checky. C-H-E-K. Oh, sorry, C-H-E-C-K-Y.
I use an app called Moment. It's a fantastic app. And look, essentially the bigger picture conversation around this is whether you're in control of your life or someone else is in control. And if you're a slave to a little black device in your pocket, then I would suggest that you have the power to change it and you're in control of your life, and there's no excuses. You get to live by your own terms. So look, Dan, that's a fascinating insight. A word of warning to anyone having coffee with Daniel Gibbs: keep your phone in your pocket, because he'll be watching. And likewise, I will be. I like to make sure that the other thing with Do Not Disturb is that, if someone calls me, I want to make sure that I'm prepared and ready to give them my best, rather than being interrupted and unprepared. So there you go, Daniel. That was very interesting. If you'd like to read the show notes or catch up on anything around this episode, you can check out www.clinicmastery.com/podcast. This will be episode number 005. And if you'd like to learn more about the life hacks from Clinic Mastery, things like notifications and creating a life where you can build an amazing clinic that helps your clients have fantastic experiences, you can head to clinicmastery.com/growmyclinic. Daniel, thank you for your time. We look forward to coming to you again with another episode of the Grow My Clinic podcast really soon.
This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.